is a 2000 Polaris Explorer 400 two-stroke, and we are going to take apart these hubs. They have continuity through the wires. Your wires up here, your brown and your grays. I've messed with that. This is kind of a rat's nest. Whoever had this before didn't do me any favors, and it's all a mess. So we are going to take this apart and see if we can see anything on that magnet. It does have fluid in there, but it looked like a lot of metal when I pulled out the plug right here. So we'll pull it apart and see what we get. We got it apart. My ring looks pretty good. It's got those little teeth on it. Bearings look okay to it, but the other thing that I found on my hub assembly is there's a groove. That's where those little ears are supposed to catch. And you can see that there's a groove around it. So I'm wondering if whoever had this apart before didn't get it put back in correctly and it wore that groove. So we're gonna hook up some 12 volts to this real quick and see what we get. So this is better. So I'm gonna slip this back in and just see what it does. All right, this is the reassembly. Guts all apart. Sprayed all these off and wiped them off. So you have, that goes in there. That first bearing there, I didn't take this all the way apart. This was as far as I got it. I didn't pull the axle out. Then you have this little ring. Those little fingers go to the outside, and that just sets on there like that. You want those two races, if you will, to be basically flush, which they are very, very close. So that will magnetize a teeny bit there sometimes, or I could turn the switch on to hold that there. Then you have that. And we're going to rotate that so that fits in there. So those little fingers fit right in those grooves. Just like that. Making sure that the axle is all the way out. Then we have our inner bearing that holds that in place, like so. And then we have our hub. And it's important that it doesn't separate, so that you know those little fingers are in the correct spot. So that goes like that. Then we have our outer bearing. Slips on there, wiggles into place like so. Washer, and then castle nut. We're going to put this on and then verify that it works before we put our cotter pin in and fill it up with fluid. This one was dry, so I'm not sure if the seal is bad on the other side. We'll put some in and see. There doesn't look like anything has been leaking through the inside, but all right. So we'll see if that works. Turn our key on, turn our all-wheel drive on. sitting on the ground. And that works. Turn that off. So we'll get it buttoned up. We'll probably just tighten that up just a touch more to get it to go into that next hole. We'll see. And then clean the cap up, put that on. These screws back here are what hold the caliper on, those two there. I used a 13. Pull that off and put some fluid in it. Let's see if it works. All right, we took it out for a test drive. The 4-wheel drive works like it should.